Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've not seen any of my videos before, I'm currently 31 weeks pregnant. So in this video I'm going to be talking to you about my first and second trimester. I don't have a lot to talk about, so I've put them together for you, and then I will do a final third trimester one because I feel like my third trimester has been my most poignant one. Is that how you say it? Poignant. So I've got some notes down on my phone, and I've asked Adam as well, can you remember what I was like? I wish I had made a note of things as I was going along. So that's a little tip for you. If you're in your first trimester, make notes of as much as you can because you will forget, and as much as you think, I'll remember this, you forget. Trust me, baby brain is real. The first trimester is weeks 1 to 12. Not many people will find out straight away. Me and Adam found out, and our pregnancy test said 3 to 4 weeks. We found out quite early. We both was on contraception, and we knew we were kind of waiting for something to happen, if that's how you want to put it. So as soon as I missed a period, I knew I was pregnant. Well, I hoped. Hello, Blue. My biggest sign that I thought I was pregnant was I was waking up in the night to go to the toilet, and throughout the day I was also going to the bathroom, but to do the tiniest little wee ever. Adam used to call me a camel because I wouldn't go to the toilet a lot. So when we went on long travels or long journeys, I wouldn't need to the toilet ever, and he always used to joke and call me a camel. So that was when I first realised I was going to the toilet for like a second, and that was my first inkling that I thought I was pregnant. But as many people, I didn't want to get my hopes up, so I waited until a little bit longer. So this was probably week 2, so that's really quite early. But like I said, if you know that you've come off contraception and you're kind of waiting for something to happen, you will probably pick up on these things a lot quicker than most people. Throughout my first trimester, I had no symptoms really whatsoever. No visible and obvious symptoms that most people would have. I had no morning sickness, I had no weight gain, I had no swelling, I just had nothing. And this really panicked me because it left me feeling like I wasn't actually pregnant. It made me do another 2 pregnancy tests within the first 12 weeks, I believe. I was so nervous, even though the pregnancy tests said positive, I was so nervous to go along to the midwife appointment, the 12-week midwife appointment, because I genuinely thought she was going to say, you're not pregnant. That was actually weird because they didn't even do a pregnancy test at my midwife appointment. I thought that was really strange. Yeah, I just remember always questioning it and saying to Adam, like, constantly, I must have done his head in, like, I don't feel pregnant, I don't feel pregnant. But everybody is different and not everyone feels pregnant, so it goes. It also left me feeling like I was waiting for something to go wrong for the first 12 weeks. Until I started getting a belly, that was when I started believing that I was pregnant. Even though we had gone for scans, we had gone for a 6-week scan, and I just still couldn't believe that I was pregnant, I guess. Oh my god. During the first trimester, he's snoring so bad. Blue, stop snoring. During my first trimester, I also noticed I was starting to get a lot of spots. I've never had acne, and I don't tend to get a lot of spots. I have an outbreak of 1, and it's like an annoyance, but I don't get them a lot. However, during the first trimester, I was getting them all on my neck. I was getting spots on my neck, along here, and it was just horrible. And I remember that being the most difficult thing because they weren't even like ones that you could cover. They were just red and they were just horrible. They made me feel horrible. And it was during summertime as well, so not even the sunshine helped. There was just nothing that I could do about it. Now, moving on to the second trimester, which I am now 2 weeks out of. The second trimester is weeks 13 to 28. Now, this trimester is a lot more exciting because you have your scans, and I think you have 2 scans. We went for a few private ones. We also got our 3D scan. So this trimester feels really long, but so much happens in this trimester. As my belly finally started growing, I was so happy to have that bump. Like, that was my contentment bump, and I can't describe to you. I keep saying to Adam, I don't think she's gonna get any bigger than this. Like, I think this is it now. And week by week my belly is growing, and it turns out the baby is actually a week bigger than what she should be. So she's growing, that's for sure. Because of this, I have been getting pains at the bottom of my ribs on the right hand side, and it just means I'm really uncomfortable in the evenings, like sat down. I obviously sit down a lot for work on my computer, so I do have to make sure I'm getting up at least like every half an hour just to like do something else, because obviously it's all squashed down. And now I'm like 31 weeks, there's not a lot of room for her. I also started pregnancy yoga in my second trimester. Now, I started this with a company called Hot Pod Yoga, and they're all around the UK. I will link them in the description box, but it was the best thing I could have done. It helps with breathing, it helps with calmness, relaxation. Normally Hot Pod Yoga is done in a heated pod, but they take the heat off for pregnancy yoga. But I really think this will benefit when it comes to labour. Just knowing how to breathe and to take those deep breaths in. The stretches as well really help, like open up your rib cage and your back. I unfortunately haven't been for the past few weeks because the times have changed. They're now on a Sunday morning, and I really struggle to get up at like 7 on a Sunday, so that's such a shame. But I think I'm going to start going back now I'm towards the end of my pregnancy. I also started getting cramps in my leg, and this is due to the weight that you're carrying around, and my legs were starting to get heavy, so I noticed that if we went for long walks my legs would like ache towards the end of the day and things, but that didn't stop me from going on walks, or it hasn't stopped me doing anything. I felt my first flutter around 14 weeks, and it was when I was in Ibiza on a hen do. So we was at Ocean Beach and the music was very loud, and I just felt like this pulse, and it went on for so long. So that was my first flutter, and I kept thinking, how will I know the difference between a flutter and a movement? But you honestly can, and you can't even describe what a flutter feels like. It's kind of like a little pulse in your stomach, and it's undescribable. You think you won't know that it's happening, and it happened a few times, and I was like, oh, did that happen? And then you notice it gradually happening more and more. I then felt my first kick around 20 weeks, and that was around the time Adam also felt her move. Obviously I say her because in my second trimester we found out we were having a girl. We had a gender reveal at 16 weeks, so I will leave a link to that as well up here so you can watch that. It was one of my favourite videos. By 25 weeks, heartburn really kicked in, and it has been getting worse, so I avoided taking anything until I think about 2 weeks ago, so until about 29-30 weeks. I then started taking Remigel, but it's worse when I'm going to bed at bedtime. I don't think it's based on anything I eat because my diet is always the same. I think it's just something that is unpreventable, and the Remigel definitely does help. Again, I've had no cravings. People keep asking me, have you had cravings? I haven't. There have been a few times when I've fibbed and said to Adam, I'm really craving chocolate, and he's gone out to the shop to get it. But I think I'm running out of time to use my craving willpower, so I might have to send him out on a few craving errands before the time's up. But I'm gutted because I really thought I would be craving like weird things. Like, I love pickled onion crisps, but I'm craving them just as much as I would when I wasn't pregnant. And unfortunately for Adam, I'm not craving anything healthy. So. Breast wise, I haven't had a lot of change in my boob size. I've probably gone up one size, but it hasn't been a big drastic change. I am hoping to breastfeed, so I hope that's not going to be a problem. Another thing is Braxton Hicks. I should start feeling Braxton Hicks contractions, but I haven't yet. So again, I feel like all of my symptoms and everything throughout this pregnancy has really gone so smoothly and so kind of slowly. I'm either going to make up for it when she's here and my life is going to be hell, or I'm going to have the worst labour of all time. So that is pretty much everything that I can remember to tell you. Now I'm in my third trimester. I have been making notes of changes and feelings, because those feelings kick in the third trimester, that is for sure. I've definitely been making notes of those, and I will upload a third trimester video after she's born, because that's the whole trimester completed then, isn't it? So that is everything from this video. I'm not even sure if my channel going down the baby route is a good thing. Like, I would love to know what you think of these videos and if you enjoy them. But until then, I will see you in my next video tomorrow, which is a weekly vlog. So until then, bye.